This framed plaque is the perfect addition to your walls for this fall season. Otherwise, you could leave it up all year round as the colors are really muted and pretty.
I start by putting some water into a small dish that I can mix some paint into. So I have this medium toned gray that I thought would help match the frame really well. So my frame kind of has this brown with a little bit of a gray distressed look. So we're going to take this plain pine wood Thankful and try to create the same effect. So you water it down until you like the look. You can see some of my parts are more gray, and I kind of liked that to match the frame. Next, we're going to take our frame and we're going to measure it out. So the inside is about 10.5 inches. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our background paper and cut that down to 10.5 inches to fit the back of the frame. After you've cut that background paper to 10.5 by 10.5 inches, you're going to flip it over, and I used 1/8 inch score tape on the back. This is super sticky tape and it's going to adhere it to our board very well. So I just put it on each side, a diagonal piece down the middle, and then I'm going to remove that paper backing to reveal the adhesive, and we're going to put it into our board and press it down well. Next, I did score tape on the back of my photos, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same process and just put a little bit on each side, peel that paper backing off, and then what I'm going to do is put them right onto the paper and kind of determine how much matting I want on them, but this lets me line it up along with the plaid pattern really well. So I stuck it right to the paper, and then I'm going to cut it out, and there's probably 1/4 to 1/2 inch on each side. So we also need to cut down the brown and pink kind of paisley looking pattern that we're going to use behind the Thankful. So this is 10.5 inches and then about 3.5 inches wide. Now I'm going to lay out all the pieces where I think I want them. This includes the leather strip. So what I did is I took it and I put it right where the two pieces of paper meet, and then I just used my scissors to cut it off. You'll want to get your score tape back out and use it to attach your matted photos onto the board now. You'll just want to place them nice and evenly on that polka dotted background paper. Again, use score tape to adhere the brown and pink paisley-ish paper, and you're going to put that at the very top of the board. So I cut my brown leather strip at 10.5 inches, or you can just eyeball it by measuring it within the board. And then I'm actually applying this with score tape too. You're just going to put a strip down the entire backing. Again, remove that paper layer and push the adhesive down right where the two pieces of paper meet. Now I'm going to take my Thankful word. It is all dry and ready to go. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add little pieces of score tape wherever there is a thick enough spot on the word to add some. And this does stick really well, so it's going to have no problem holding this wood word on the paper. Go ahead then, after getting your score tape on, and place your Thankful letter centered on that brown paper on top. It's going to overlap the leather ribbon, and that is just fine. Now we have our unfinished leaf ornament, and I wanted to leave this unfinished just for that natural look that's really popular right now. So I cut the string off of the top of the oak leaf, and I lined it up on my board where I want it, and now I'm just going to cut some strips of score tape, and I'm going to put these right underneath where that oak leaf is going to lay, and so I can attach it to the frame. This way it's a little bit dimensional and it's sticking off from the actual project that we've been working on. Next, I cut about a 4-inch piece of the leather strip, and I kind of just cut it down the middle. One of the edges is a little thicker, and that's okay, because what we're actually going to do with this is just tie it around the bottom, around the stem of that oak leaf. So we're just going to tie a simple knot, and we are going to call this a finished project.
Thanks for following along as we made this framed Thankful plaque. You can find more information at craftsdirect.com under the Projects tab.